Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Early Morning Variety Hour. My name's NPC,
I'm Chris.
and today we're talking about something I've realized now
Many,
that we
many
don't have a topic.
things. My video game addiction, we can talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Um,
I mean, you don't just clock in 10 hours of Among Us and you don't say you don't have an addiction.
yes,
You don't clock in 10 hours of Fall Guys and say you don't have an addiction.
you could. Fall Guys is you could it depends how long the span of time is.
Do you know what's sad?
Yeah.
I've played 10 hours of Fall Guys and I still haven't won a single game.
Wow. Oof. That's not good.
10 hours and I haven't won a single game.
Yeah, that yeah.
That's just sad, but I love Fall Guys. Oh, I could talk for hours about that game. Maybe I will.
Maybe you will. We could also
Get it,
like
dude.
talk about YouTube as a harsh mistress.
Of where you just choose where the algorithm, if you can ever get the algorithm in your favor, you just blow up.
Yep. I actually planned to do it's one of those videos like it's one of those non-Criticraft videos that I have planned to have a few where I want to make a clickbait video and I want to just say in the video like hi, this video is not what you think it is. If you clicked in the video, it's probably because of one of the following thumbnails. I like change it every week, and then I'm going to review the statistics in a video after that to see what people clicked on, what people didn't, what the audience attention was like, and maybe give a guide to the YouTube algorithm.
I mean, the algorithm is unpredictable anyway, so maybe it'll work.
Maybe.
There's
Um,
this one guy came across a channel the other day. I can't remember what the video was. It was something relating to Minecraft. He had one video posted. This was his only video. Had something like 200,000 subscribers because of it.
yeah, ish. If you
Okay, no, I
get
exaggerate. It wasn't. I exaggerate. It was 200,000 views and 2,000 subs
2,000 subs, that's better. Um,
from one video.
yeah.
Something like 1,000 comments as well.
Yeah. But also, in the next podcast, we're going to be doing the Criticraft special because the 29th of September is coming up, and that means this marks the 1 year anniversary of Criticraft.
Wasn't that the one we were supposed to do 2 weeks back, but because of all the problems we've been having, we got cancelled
No,
or postponed? Oh,
that
because
was.
remember there was that one that you wanted to do on the one Saturday, but we had to
Oh,
cancel it.
that was. I wanted to do an interview with a friend, but clearly, schedules and
And then we had
combining didn't
internet
work.
issues, and then there was a
Oh yes.
scheduling issue, and then you
Ah,
were busy with school, and then your internet was bad, and then my computer decided to update.
I see.
We just haven't had a great last 2 weeks.
No. And then on the 29th is a Tuesday. So if we record on the 28th with a bunch of Criticraft members, we can yeah, we
Post
can do
on
this
the
thing.
anniversary.
And we can post on the anniversary, which is also when I'm going to be releasing an anniversary video.
So you guys will get two videos.
Yay! And hopefully Chris might
Except for
maybe
people will only
maybe get
probably
one.
end up watching one.
Yeah. Ah,
But hey, then we can do that, yeah. Just get some stuff sorted out.
I just need to message people to say
Just
that
gotta
we're
talk
going
to
to be
the
doing the
other critics.
podcast and that we
But
need
we'll also
them to
have to deal
come.
with the time because Americans
Yeah.
time zones.
So 7:30 should work. Um,
Perhaps it's a Tuesday and they are back at
it's
school
a
as
Monday.
well. Or it's a Monday, they're back at
Yeah.
school.
So that should work. Yeah.
We can try for that weekend rather because as I said, they're back at school.
That's this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
We can, yes. It might be a bit of a
I think
stretch.
that'll work out better.
I think so. Maybe like on Saturday or Friday.
Okay, no, no, maybe not Friday. I might have stuff to do Friday.
Saturday then.
Oh yeah, Saturday will be fine.
Okay, perfect.
Anyways, we shouldn't be discussing the stuff. We should not be discussing this
We
stuff
shouldn't be
now.
really organizing something for the next podcast on the current podcast. Uh,
Yeah.
but like, sure.
So, Among Us story times come. I can tell you some stories about my games in Among Us, which I've played many of.
These could be long and harsh.
Okay, no, they're not that hard. Among Us games, they normally last like 10 to 15 minutes,
Yeah.
depending on how good the lobby is. Sometimes they can last even 1 minute if if the imposters are really dumb. Let's actually start with that, some really dumb imposters. So
Yeah.
we just started the game, right? Huh?
No, I just said yeah. It just was agreeing.
I thought you said something.
Oh,
So there's this really dumb guy. I think he was the color red. So we were busy. We just started the game. We all went to go do the task that you had to do. This guy kills someone, and then in the game you can jump into vents to move around the places without getting
yeah.
seen, right? So he kills this guy and jumps into a vent. A minute into the game, I report the body. Tell everyone, guys, look, Red just killed someone and then vented. Everyone voted him off. Game done in a minute.
Wow.
It's the best thing ever. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Oh, but I
I
love the
fully
memes from
ended up
Among
ruining
Us.
that guy's entire day.
Like when someone says something really strange on Twitter or something, it's like, ugh, emergency meeting.
People say strange stuff on Twitter all the time. If they're not being toxic, they're being strange.
Well, now we have a meme for it,
Among
and
Us.
we now
Do you
have
know
a
that
new
game?
booth.
You know Among Us is 2 years old?
Yep.
I didn't know it was 2 years old. I thought it was a relatively recent game.
Well, it it's like the YouTube algorithm. The internet is just strange. It likes the strangest things
Unpredictable.
and makes the strangest things cool. Or yeah,
Which I don't know if you've seen this meme. It says, one thing that we've learned from what's now was summer in the States is with video games, it doesn't matter how good the graphics are as long as you can play with friends. And Fall Guys and Among Us are proof of that. But I don't agree with that because Fall Guys graphics is really nice.
it's minimalist. And then I love that meme where it's like
Minimalism, that's
Minecraft.
the thing.
Do I mean nothing to you?
Minecraft. Minecraft is just their like first time. That James Franco meme
Yes. First time.
with the rope around his neck, like first time.
I wonder if anyone will ever overtake Minecraft in sales of a game.
Nah, probably not. That game is way too big. Everyone's played it at some point.
Yeah, but you never know if something bigger might come. I mean,
I mean,
Fortnite.
Fortnite came
Yes,
close.
Fortnite.
Ugh,
Fortnite has one of the
Fort.
most active player bases, I think, at some point.
I played Fortnite like 3 times and I just don't like it.
Yeah, I just sometimes play it when I have friends that won't play anything else. You
I
know
have
those
one friend
friends.
on Xbox. He won't play anything else except Fortnite.
And what am I? Chopped liver.
No, you just want to play Forza, but there's a difference. I like
You
Forza.
said you
I
only have
don't
one
like
friend on
Fortnite.
Xbox.
I said I have this one friend.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes much more sense.
Unless I didn't and I actually messed up my wording, but I've got this one friend that only plays Fortnite. And then I've got you who mostly just plays Forza. Well, that's the only game that both of us own, so
Yeah, on Xbox. I have Microsoft Flight
yeah.
Simulator, which is the best ever game ever invented.
But I want to wait for Flight Simulator when I get the Series
Are
X.
you gonna get the Series X?
Not on release, I can tell you that now. I'm not getting it on
Why didn't you
release.
get the Series S?
Because the S is digital only. I like having physical copies.
Fair enough. Do you have Forza Horizon 1 yet?
I don't have Horizon 1. I only have 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I'm waiting because I want to help complete your collection, and I want
The
to.
thing is, I don't think 1 is going to be hard to find now because they discontinued making it quite a few years
I
back.
know, but Cash Converters doesn't know that it's going to be hard to find, and they're going to sell it for 30 rand. So if I can find a Cash Converters with Forza Horizon, then I can buy it and I'm set. I can give it to you
Yeah, I
and you
also
can
still gotta finish
game
mine.
marathon it.
I actually might even end up replacing my copy of Horizon 2 because the cover is in Spanish.
How do you manage that?
Game was imported,
Did you
probably.
import the game or did you buy it secondhand?
I bought it. I bought it firsthand, but I think the store imported it. I know it sounds it's crazy. I
Yes.
haven't thought it through because it was a brand new game. It wasn't secondhand or anything, but the cover was in Spanish.
Wow.
I don't know how that happened, but it happened.
Yeah, I guess. Oh man.
The game is in English. The game is in English. The game language depends on the setting of your console, but the cover's in Spanish, and I don't like that because I can't read it.
Makes sense. Can't you just like
I
change
can just look
things?
at the
Change that?
pictures. Hmm?
Can't you change that? And also,
I
how do you
mean,
know
I
that
could
if you
print
don't get another one that it might not be in Spanish too?
because you can just look at the cover and it will say, okay, let's say like this. Right, you're looking at the cover. At
Wait,
the
is this
top
is this
right,
physical cover or software cover?
physical cover.
Ah, I thought you meant the software cover.
Oh no 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 no! The physical cover. It says at the top right corner. It's in a different if it's in a different language. Like it'll say Espanol or something.
Ah, I see. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I don't know how that happened, but it's in Spanish, and I got it in Spanish. You can still play it in English, which is great for me, because then I would have a really hard time if you couldn't.
Yeah. I still want to come over and play Forza Horizon 2. That's got to be one of the
I
best
mean,
they've ever made.
when I get my license, I'll bring it over to you, and then we can or no, you don't have an Xbox.
No, I don't, but I have a PC, so we can probably
So
do
about to
some
say I'll just come over
emulation.
and install it on your side.
No, we can do some emulation. Xbox 360 is not hard to emulate.
I mean, there was also on Xbox One. It was on both consoles.
Oh, do you have the 360 or the Xbox One version?
I don't have. Oh, of Horizon 2, I have the Xbox One.
Ah, that's probably a Blu-ray then. That's not good. I can't run that then. Bring your
Well,
Xbox.
you can get the 360 version.
I know you can, but the thing is, if I was to emulate something, I only have a DVD drive.
Ooh, I see.
Yeah. So we'd need to you need to bring
Shame.
your Xbox and then we can play it.
Ugh, that's just such a hassle because I have to get all the plugs and everything. Ugh,
Well,
but it's
we could
fine.
probably
It's
find
fine. Like a
plugs.
plan. Well, no, no, no. I'll have to take out the cables and everything. I mean, unplug it on my side and bring everything.
Oh, I see. Yeah. What series is
And
it?
my what?
What?
Oh, which Xbox?
Yes.
The original one.
2013.
The
Wow.
2013, 14, somewhere around there. It's the 10th anniversary edition for Forza.
Oh wow.
I got Motorsport 6 for free.
Anyone can get Motorsport 6 for free.
Yeah, I know, but if you bought the console, you got Motorsport 6 included with the bundle.
Yeah, but anyone like that's like getting Fortnite. It's free.
Wait, is Motorsport 6 now free?
It's always been free.
It hasn't always been free.
I don't know, but it's certainly been for free. Free as long as I've had my PC.
Alright, but I think it's maybe included with Game Pass or free on Game Pass. Because you used to have to pay for it. Even on the store, you had to pay for it.
I think no. I don't know. I know the DLC you have to pay for, but it's certainly free on PC.
Yeah, well, I said maybe in Game Pass, because you still had to pay for the game before they introduced Game Pass.
Yeah.
Listen to me saying pass.
Pass. You're the American African.
Pass. Wow.
Oh man.
What's another story I can tell you from Among Us? Oh, there was this one. I don't know what happened here, who decided to get this bright idea or what, but we're busy playing. After about like 2 minutes, someone got killed, they found the body, emergency meeting and all that. First person out of nowhere just types, they just type Chris, because my username is Chris. Instantly, everyone just starts voting for me, and I'm just there like, wait, what just happened? I'm not even the imposter. I wasn't even on the same side where the body was killed. I was on the other half of the map. And I just got kicked out because someone said my name.
Well, maybe they saw the meme.
I don't know, but someone just typed in Chris, and the entire lobby voted me out.
Oh man, I saw this one meme on Reddit slash
I was
memes.
quite frustrated. I actually left after that.
Oh lol. Wait, Football Manager 2020 is free. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Do you know
something anyone would
when I
want.
was the imposter, I managed to turn the people on a guy that was accusing me back on him.
Oh wow. How do you manage that?
Because like I killed the guy right in front of the other player that I ended up turning things on, right? So he reports it, right? And he says, no, it was Chris who did it. So I'm like, no, it was you. I reported it. And they somehow managed to believe me and just reported him because he was acting suspicious, apparently.
Perfection.
He was walking around and apparently not doing tasks. So I'm like, no, it was actually him. And then because people thought he was faking his tasks, they just voted him out. And then they all held an emergency meeting right after they found out he wasn't the imposter, and then they voted me off because I was lying.
Have you ever won as an imposter? Imposter.
No, I haven't won as imposter, no.
That's sad.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you were to like argue your point, you don't have a lot of time, and you've got a really limited amount of space, because people will just throw accusations all over the place, and you can't go fight all of them at once.
Yeah.
But I will say, Among Us players, on all the lobbies I've been on, are terrible at arguing.
Well, if you're playing
This
on
one
mobile, one would not expect much more.
this one guy, I was playing with him. It was my very first game, actually. I'm always gonna remember this because it was just the dumbest thing ever. So we're busy playing, and they accused this one guy. The guy who was accused, he types in, he's like, yeah, well, it wasn't me, and I'm a lawyer. Like, what does your profession have to do with any of this? You
That's
just
an
accuse.
excuse.
No one's gonna say. No one's gonna do. Needless to say, he was actually voted off in the end. But no one cares about your profession. We just accused you of doing something, and then you want to say, no, actually, I'm a lawyer, and it wasn't me." As if that's gonna add any credibility to your case.
Wow. That's an interesting story.
Funny enough, right after that guy was ejected, I got killed. So I didn't even last like two people, or through two people during my first game.
Oh wow.
And I was quite lost as well because it was my first time playing. So people were actually getting suspicious of me because I was still exploring the map, trying to figure out where everything was.
I see. Well, I haven't ever failed my first game because I
I haven't
exited the
even
app on my
played
phone
it.
because I had something else to do.
Oh, I was about to, yeah, because you haven't even played it yet.
No, I have.
Oh, but play it on PC. PC is better controls.
Do you have it on PC?
I don't have it on PC yet, no, but I've seen gameplay of it on PC, and it's significantly better.
I'd imagine, but it's also significantly. Well, it's actually infinitely more expensive.
Yes, 45 times more expensive.
No, not 45 times,
Here,
infinitely times.
it's 45 rand here
Yes,
on
but
PC, and
mobile
then
is
free on mobile.
absolutely free. 0
Oh,
times
that
what
is
equals
true.
45?
That is true.
What's 45 divided by 0? Undefined.
Shh, don't do maths. I'm out of school. I don't do maths anymore.
Uh, Even when you're in school, you didn't do math, did you? Did you?
No.
Yeah, there we go.
No. It was my worst subject.
Ah, yes. I love maths. Just, yeah.
You still have it easy. Give it a few years.
Give it a few years. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I mean, what do the American South Africans call it? Ninth grade. It's grade 9, Chris.
Yeah, you're still in grade 9, so you still have it easy.
Oh, you said grade 9. This is a revelation.
I want to invalidate your entire point right there with one phrase.
No, you validated it. You made my point more
How did
clear.
I validate it? I'd said the completely opposite thing to what you said, I would say.
But you've said what you would say before, and now you've changed it because you know I'm right.
Silence.
What was that?
Silence. It's you being right. I don't like it. Silence.
I love democracy.
Believe me, anyone who's lived in a democratic state compared to a socialist state will love it.
Oh yes. Or anyone who
You know,
lives in both would love it.
I was reading the other day this article. Venezuelans prefer they're currently under socialism, right?
Yeah.
More Venezuelans prefer capitalism than socialism at the moment
Oh wow.
because of how
Interesting.
bad everything is down there. Or
Yeah.
not down there, up because they're by the
It
states.
suddenly seems like SACP wouldn't be such a bad idea, if you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. Don't worry. I know what you mean. I
Headed up
told you
by
I
our
voted
great
for the communists
Supreme
last
Leader,
year,
Chris the
right?
TV Addict.
I told you I voted for the Communist Party last year, right?
Are you that undecided?
Huh? No, 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 no. That was before I actually understood the stuff that I do about communism now. I
And
was
would you
like,
still vote for them?
I no. I don't know if that party even exists anymore. They had so few votes.
SACP, I think, still exists. But there's a lot of
They had
parties
less,
that have like
they had like a
5 votes.
thousand votes. Hmm?
There are lots of parties that have very few votes. They still stay there, though.
Nah, that is true. They just don't do anything because no one votes for them.
Yeah. Hashtag bring back SACP. Oh man.
Dude, now people are actually gonna vote for the communists now.
Oh yes. Like if you don't want
That's
if
gonna
you don't want to vote, that's fine. But still go there and vote SACP.
No, if you want to vote, please vote. Please. Your every vote matters.
Everyone. Like you may think, oh no, if I don't vote, it's one out of billion. But if everyone thinks that, then it's a billion out of a billion. No,
And
not
then your
billion.
terrible party that's been ruling you for 26 years is gonna
Okay.
win anyway and ruin you even more.
That's the problem we have in this country. Trust us, it's not a good idea.
That's why I just said that.
it
Well, to be fair though, it wasn't bad for the first, let's say about 10-ish years.
wasn't great.
After that, it wasn't great either. No, it wasn't great, but it was better than now.
Yeah. But then it
And then
was
it
like
just went.
slowly going downhill from what the government was, and then it slowly started breaking down. And in the first 10 years, it
The
was
thing is,
still holding up.
the biggest problem is the government is a liberation party that went into politics.
Yes.
Liberation party should not go into politics.
Yes, when you've got the freedom fighters in power, there are going to be problems. You need people that are
If
good
you
to be
have,
in power. In power.
if your freedom fighters are good politicians and they know what they're talking about, sure, bring your liberation party into politics. But if a bunch of them are just freedom fighters that came off the streets that don't know a thing, don't go into politics. Stay for freedom fighting and don't do anything else.
Yep, there we are.
I'm busy talking as if I'm giving someone a speech.
You are. I could give a
I
bunch of
was
speeches on a
actually
bunch of things.
I was actually helping one of my friends. She has to write an essay about the current economic state of the country and
That sounds
how
like a
what
delightful topic.
well, not for the country itself, but for the hospitality industry and how we can recover from it and all. And
Oh, wow.
I was busy googling some points for her that she could use, and I was busy typing it out. But the entire time she was sending me voice notes that I had to listen to because I didn't know what that voice note said. Maybe it was one of my points that she asked me, "Hey, can I say this?" And then after everything, I ended up typing about 4 points, so about a paragraph's worth of stuff. And it's like, actually, I have all of those points already. And
Oh
I was
man.
just there like, wow.
I don't like essays because I'm a public speaker and just the ability to portray your information verbally and be able to make sure that you get to um speak it the way you want to have it spoken just appeals to me. I don't really like essays because you don't know how people will read it. Beauty is in the eye of the
The,
beholder.
she didn't have a very good topic. because it was only on the effects of COVID-19 on the hospitality industry. And outside of job cuts and a lack of income, there's not really much else that you can talk about.
Yeah.
You can say, okay, sure, they lost some investment as well, but that also falls under a loss of income.
Mm. Well, we have a debate currently, but our English teacher's just been absent for a good part of the week.
What's the topic? What's the
About
topic? What's the
so
topic?
us specifically, we have the great privilege of talking about should animals be used for testing medicine. Now, this brings in
Ooh.
moral
Oh, that's
debates.
a
This
really
brings in
controversial one.
um, whether lives of humans trump lives of animals, and
Wow, that's a very controversial one, especially if you have some vegans in there.
yes, and also there's the whole thing of one of the biggest points the against argument has, which I'm for, so I'm against them. I'm against the against and the against the for.
That makes no sense at all. Okay,
But
okay, let's say it like this. For your group, are you going to say that animals should be tested or should not be tested?
should be tested, and the other group is going should not. And the one point that they have is that animals are really dissimilar to humans, and up to 96% of the things tested on animals don't even make it to human testing.
That is true.
So we have a
That is
lot of points to throw around there, and it's an interesting topic because it depends on some people's views. If people are vegan, they're gonna have a different view to the people that are not
much
vegan.
rather have gone from a moral standpoint.
But even vegans might agree with the animal testing because not just for food, it's not just for one meal, it's for potentially saving a
The
whole bunch
entirety
of
of human
lives.
life. But
Um,
now becomes the thing of also the animal can't consent.
yes,
Or not necessarily consent,
but
they're
then
forced
why
into
don't
it.
we stop
That's a kind of
euthanasia
approach that I
first?
would take. Hmm?
I- is that the problem? If that's the problem, then why don't we try euthanasia? Why don't we stop using euthanasia first? If you get what I mean.
Why don't we stop what? I didn't catch that.
Euthanasia,
What's euthanasia?
putting the animal to
Elaborate. I
sleep.
don't understand.
It's like that
Oh,
injection that makes them slowly fall to sleep and never
well,
wake
yeah,
up again.
because then they can't consent to that either.
They don't consent to that, and that's that theoretically is not the animal's not serving any other purpose. They just die. Don't know if I can say that on YouTube.
That is actually a very tricky topic. I actually want to see where this goes. I want to join in and see where it goes.
Yeah, my English teacher will probably record it, so I can send you a recording if you'd like.
If they actually end up recording, I actually really want to listen to this. It's a really interesting topic. I actually might end up Googling it at some point.
Yes, so I've been doing quite. This is a lot of research behind it, and four has a lot of views. There's a lot of things of whether it's morally right, and against has facts. They have statistics, and that's where the clash comes, and that's what makes it really really interesting.
Listen, listen. In the words of the great Ben Shapiro, facts don't care about your feelings.
Wow.
Boom. In the words of Ben Shapiro, not my words.
And then group one has got oh, it's such a funny stupid topic of whether men wearing makeup should be normalized.
I mean, what can you argue with about that?
I don't know. Neither do they.
To be fair, I'm somewhat against normalization culture because everyone wants everything to be normalized.
Yes.
And I don't believe that everything should be normalized, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's always an exclusivity, and things have worked fine
Obviously,
for the
obviously
past
there are some things like actually I don't know if I can say the word that I want to say, but there are stuff out there where people will not have the normalization culture, like big stuff that's really controversial and really bad. But
yes.
there's small things that don't need to be normalized at all that they want to be normalized.
The nice thing about being in the school is that we all have the same views, so we can all kind of see each other's arguments from the same kind of light. But talking
You're
to
lucky.
talking to it from a YouTube audience is yeah, it's interesting. You can offend a whole lot of people if you get into those kinds of topics.
The thing is, you're lucky. When we had to do our debates in English, everyone disagreed on everything. Like we didn't share views on many things, or at least not many of us. We always had at least one person disagree.
Yeah. My favorite thing about my group is I've got a friend of mine who he's very like me, and he really likes to see points, and is kind of like an intelligent debater that tries to see all points and makes a good argument against or for it. Um,
Oh, so like me.
Kinda, yeah. Except without the American accent.
Shh.
More of a Kaapstad accent. Or Cape Town, if for
Wow.
those non-Afrikaners. Then there's other debates like should civies be allowed? Should open book tests be normalized? Um, I'm all for open
I mean,
book
the whole
tests, but
city topic is pointless. What's the point of a uniform? People make the argument that, oh, uniform brings unity. No, it doesn't. Nobody cares about what the uniform is. They
also
all
you pay
still
for
hate
dry
each other,
cleaning, and well,
and
there's
it's
also
still the
the
dry
argument
cleaning.
of So I actually spoke to our, I think he's the academic head of our school, and there are some legitimate reasons for schools implementing school uniform. They're
Some
pretty extreme,
like
but I can
like
see
with
where
what
it's
Chubbs was
coming
saying the
from.
other day. Like with what Chubbs was saying the other day, where like there's those really rich kids that like to show off their stuff, and then when you compare it to like the poorer kids who don't really have these brands, and then what do they do? Because now they get made fun of, especially in high school. High school's not a great place in terms of social status.
Well, at our school, we don't have that kind of problem. Um,
Oh, we had a big social status problem.
but we also have the thing of we're in the private sector enough that there is no specifically poor kids, if that makes sense.
The thing is, government schools, it's not like that. Governments, you've got
Yes,
both sides of the extreme.
but we're arguing for our school, which is very different. And
But no, if it's something like a private school, where's civvies? What's the point of a uniform?
I know, right? But we have to wear them 24/7. And I like asked if maybe we have like a pretty stubborn principal. But ask if maybe we can
Principal was
maybe
stubborn
make
as well.
Tuesdays and Thursdays either civvies or maybe just PE clothes because it's so much more comfortable. And we get a chance to wash our
Our
school uniform,
principal,
and it doesn't look like that general meeting is not going to go so well.
our principal is pretty stubborn as well. Former principal now, because I've left now. She, current uniform that we've got, she's the lady who designed it. Since she became principal, day one, that's been the standard uniform, and that's like 20 odd years.
Wow.
Hasn't changed at all.
Yeah. But like as I said, there are some reasons for having school uniform that I can sort of understand, but they're very extreme.
I don't
Like if
agree with the
there's
whole, oh, it creates unity thing. No, it
no,
doesn't.
like practical kind of reasons where if
Yeah, I know
there's a
practical, but then
shooter on the
throwing in
school
the
grounds,
unity
they
thing.
can see who's a shooter and who's in school uniform. But even then, if it's on a Friday, there's a bunch of kids in civvies for civvies days,
Mm.
and then it defeats the entire point. It doesn't work like that.
Just
And
goes
then
in on a Friday when no one can identify him well.
of course, you got the problem that's not really a problem of the shoes. I don't get shoe fashion. I'm fine with my sneakers. They're pretty old, but they
I
work.
just wear Levi's the whole time because they're cheap.
And I don't care what anybody else thinks. But I'd imagine there might be some controversial for shoes. I mean, the school could, if the school really wanted to implement civvies, there are so many ways around it. They could implement, you could have to wear Max tackies or no name tackies, or you have to stay away from the big brands like Nike, or those kinds of ones. There's ways around it. The school just doesn't want to implement it.
And I'm sorry, but like you probably are gonna agree with me on this, but if you're paying like really big money for a pair of shoes, then you're just wasting your money,
Of course, of
in
course.
my opinion.
Sorry to all the
There's
people
stuff
who
like
bought the
those,
Nike Airs, but
there's stuff like the Nike Airs, the Air Jordans, where there's like $1,000 for what? It's a pair of shoes.
and they get
You could get
dirty
a
anyway. You walk on sand, then you'll
you
think
could
shoes are
get
dirty. You
dirty.
spend time washing them, and then they get dirty again. I don't understand why shoes were made to be so fashionable. Out of all the
And
things they
why
could
they
have
made them
chosen.
so expensive? I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, me neither. And
I don't
I,
know why you pay so much money for shoes. They're probably even gonna end up breaking in a few years as well anyway.
yeah, and probably people forget about, oh, those are the old Nike Airs. Those are terrible.
It's like when they release the iPhones, like, oh, that's the old iPhone. I don't want that
Well,
anymore.
iPhones are pretty great. They last long. We don't have software for only like 2 years and they stop supporting us.
I've got one of my friends. I've got one of my friends. He's an Apple fanboy. He cannot decide if he wants to use Apple Music or Spotify for his music. And he doesn't like Apple Music, but he's a huge Apple fanboy.
I
I don't
know.
understand it.
There's some people like that. Like I know a friend from school likes MacBooks, doesn't like iPhone.
I don't like MacBooks.
I
Anyone
don't
with
like
that with
MacBooks, but they do, and they don't like iPhone. I don't understand that. Like
but
MacBooks
like
is
how can
so
you like
overpriced.
MacBooks at all? There's so much better normal Windows PCs out there.
There are some arguments for MacBooks out there. Just the sheer convenience of the software, the sheer simplicity. Like if you get a MacBook Air 2017, it's relatively cheap. If you get it from like secondhand or
Really
from a
good for
good
graphics
price.
design from what I've heard.
And it's thin, it's light, and it is extremely, extremely rigid. The one thing Apple has down is their build quality. Like there's no deck flex, they've got giant trackpads, and they've got all the screen size one would need and processing power for
And they
word
let you throw
processing
your
and
first
web
gen
browsing.
iPhone S and they let you throw your first gen iPhone SEs into walls without a crack, and you've done that many times before.
Like me specifically, because I do have a first gen iPhone SE.
Yeah, was it you? It was someone with an iPhone, and I think it was you. Threw the iPhone into walls many times just to prove that the screen doesn't crack. Might have even kicked it a few times too. I don't know if that was you or someone else.
Yeah, then you got the 6 where it is literally bent. Um, didn't Andrew have a bent success?
I don't know his phones. I don't look at his phones. I'm not with him half the time to notice.
Well, when you showed us Plague Inc., didn't he have a very bent iPhone 6? I think he did.
I can't remember. I don't think I've ever watched him play Plague Inc., so I don't remember.
Anyways, we've gone from what was it, Among Us,
Among
to
Us phones.
politics, to essays, to debates, and now to phones. So
I still want that Gen 2 SE. I really like it. I really want it.
I think you should get it. I think it's a good investment. I'm I'm
I want to get it. That's the plan.
I'm really happy with my iPhone SE. It's small, it's got a headphone jack, and it's still supported. Um,
The SE2 doesn't have a headphone jack.
no, I
That's where
don't know.
Bluetooth comes in.
Why does Apple have to be the trendsetter for some things? Like seriously,
Like removing ports.
removing the headphone jack. Then everyone else is like, "Oh, this is a good idea. Let's do that too."
It's not a
Even
good idea
Samsung
because
let out.
Bluetooth is expensive. Bluetooth stuff is expensive. It's not a good
Yeah,
idea. Not I don't like using Bluetooth stuff
and
because
also
of
you
the
have to get
price.
an
Why is it
adapter.
cheaper?
It's just stupid.
That too. But oh well, what can
What can we do here?
we can't exactly sue them. That's not going to go well.
No, you don't. One does not simply just sue a trillion, $2 trillion company.
Could you imagine if someone takes on Apple and wins? Oh, that would be crazy. That'll be in the news for weeks.
Well, Epic Games, funnily enough, is doing that exact thing and trying to win.
Yeah, but that's a corporation against a corporation. I mean, one individual against the $2 trillion corporation.
That would be interesting. Like a billionaire decides to spend some of his money in thing Apple's monopolistic practices or something.
I mean, I'd support it.
Me too. Imagine that thing, and the publicity it would get.
it'll be enough publicity for them to buy the billionaire stuff.
Yeah. Like if he like
It's like,
started the
oh,
business
that's the
after
guy
that,
that
he'd be
tried to
very
take
well
down
known.
Apple.
Yeah, like who picks on Apple without having a huge dollar sign to back them? Or imagine someone who like literally just has a lawyer friend and sues Apple
Conveniently has a lawyer friend
and wins.
and wins.
That would be
Oh,
interesting, Chris. When you get
that,
your lawyer
I'm
degree
telling
in
you
law,
this
you can
right
do it.
now. If a situation like that were to happen, within 5 years there'd be an Oscar movie based on it.
Probably.
Maybe Oscar winning, but it'll definitely be in nominations for the
Yes.
Oscars. Oh, wait, no, no,
The
no. That's going to be a bit of a problem because the Oscars these days, your movie has to be on a trend or modern topic. It has to be, okay, not controversial, but it just has to be on an in topic at the time.
yeah. You could call it take a bite out of an apple.
That's a bit wordy.
Or uh, a bite of an apple. A bite of an apple. A bite of an apple. You could like
I think that's also a bit wordy. That's not as wordy.
yeah, a bite of an apple.
They can figure out a title. They're paid for this stuff. I'm not creative enough.
Yeah, but if that ever happens, I'm pretty sure they're gonna get the top movie people to play it. Like just throw in
They'll get top
what's his name?
writers, top
Dwayne
actors.
John the Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
No, they won't get Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson's more action. They'll get like biopic or drama actors.
Yeah.
They had in the Steve Jobs movie they had
Robert
Michael
Downey Jr.
Fassbender. Wait a minute. I was about to say they could just use Michael Fassbender to play Steve Jobs, but Steve Jobs is a bit dead.
Yes. And he's not involved, I don't imagine, in the whole suing thing.
They can get Michael Fassbender to play Tim Cook.
It would work, yes.
Boom!
Take a little
I've
bit of
just solved
makeup,
the
but
issue right now and still keep Michael Fassbender.
yes. Oh man, I was watching the
Because
WDC and I
two
didn't know how
biopics is both
like
Apple
annoying Tim
CEOs.
Cook's voice is. Like no offense to
Yeah,
him, you're just not a public speaker. I'm sorry.
no, he's not.
I do
That's why Steve
tend
Jobs
to
always did
consider
it. Steve
myself
Jobs
one.
was good.
Oh, and one more thing.
Because if Michael Fassbender actually does play as Tim Cook, then he'll be play as biopics as both CEOs of Apple, well, the former and the current.
Huh, yeah.
That would be epic. That would just break the entire Apple cinematic universe.
Apple Cinematic. ACU. ACU. Yep. Perfect.
The ACU.
It works so well.
Get out of here, Marvel. We've got the ACU coming.
ACU. Well, it was just strange to see 1,300,000 people watching a live stream from Apple.
I didn't watch it.
Imagine, like, no, I know you didn't watch it, but I watched it, but just seeing 1,000,000 people tuning in.
To watch a live stream.
The American government doesn't get that kind of watch. The
No, they
American
don't. Not at all.
government. And people, that's informative. People care more about new iPhones than they do a
Then they
pandemic
do
that
about
their
their own
government's
country.
supposed to be handling. Ah, I love the US
I think
government.
everyone's given up on the government handling of COVID around the world anyway. So
Yeah, it's still there, but like people don't care. It's not trendy anymore.
we just decided we're gonna just live with it now.
Yep. Still waiting for a vaccine, stupid Russians.
I wanted to say something now, but it was something about the Russians and the vaccine, but now I can't remember what.
I love
The
someone
shot
posted on their
thought
status.
came right through my head and left instantly.
Someone posted on their status. They just finished
Oh,
texting the Russian
the
vaccine,
one.
and it's got
That's the one I was going to talk about that meme.
a
We're like,
bottle
oh,
of
we just
vodka.
finished testing with the Russian vaccination, and then it all just turns into Russian towards the end.
Oh no! It was just a bottle of vodka with a needle on the end.
Oh, you haven't seen the one where the text starts turning into Russian.
No.
You have to see it. There's this lady's like, so guys, I just did COVID-19 vaccinations testing from the one with
Oh
Russia,
yes, I've seen
and
that
I
one.
would like to say there's absolutely no
No
side,
side of
and then
no
everything
no
turns into
no.
Russian.
I've known a Russian person before. The language is rather strange. At least typing language. I was like,
I've listened to Russians before, and I'll agree with you. The language is strange.
of course you've listened to Russian though. At least for me, it's a little bit more far-fetched.
How is it not far-fetched for me? Why would I
Exactly,
listen
that's
to
what I'm
Russian?
saying. For me, it's a bit more far-fetched. Because I don't usually support the communist government on a daily basis.
I don't usually support the communists. I only vote for... Oh, wait, no, that counts as supporting them.
Yeah,
Never mind.
that does kind of count as supporting them,
That very much counts. I am basically a comrade now.
comrade. Calling people by
Com
he or she. That's good. Calling people comrade. Big brain.
I saw this one Among Us meme. And maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. We'll see now. Now we're talking about comrades. This guy, they called an emergency meeting. They said, "Oh, I saw Brown's the guy who killed him. I saw him bending over the body." And the guy's like, "I was just paying respects to our fallen comrade." So everyone else voted the other guy off.
Oh man, there was one meme where it's like purple. Um, it wasn't brown. Um, it was.
Oh, the Brown says it was purple.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
thank
So
you.
purple says, it wasn't brown. Brown says thanks. It was purple.
I think it was the other way around, but it could also depend on the meme itself. Because then people just reposted with different colors to get karma on Reddit.
Yeah. And then you got the spin-off which is like, do you trust me? And it's got brown person saying, do you trust me? And purple says, with every cell of my body.
You can never trust anyone in Among Us.
No.
Oh,
It's
games
like
do or friends do not exist in that game.
this is the top ruining friendship games. It's got Monopoly, Among Us, Mario
Oh,
Kart.
but Monopoly can cause wars.
Monopoly can start family feuds.
That too.
Like if it's a long day and like maybe there's like no electricity or something, you could end the day with not having a family member if the Monopoly game gets tense enough.
Unfortunately, we only have a two-person household, so that doesn't apply to me.
Monopoly works with two players.
I know, but my mom doesn't like it.
My brother deviates between liking it and not.
Which one?
One just older,
What? Oh, just older.
just older than me. I've got a slinky in my hand, so if the people listening can hear a
I also
slinky,
have a
I'm very
slinky in my
sorry.
hand, actually.
Wait, you do?
I do actually have a slinky in my hand.
What's it made of?
What do you mean, what's it made of? I
Is it a
thought
plastic
slinkies
one
were
or a
only made...
metal one?
Oh, it's a plastic.
I've got a metal one. Did you know that they
Oh, I
made the
have...
original sounds for the Star Wars lasers by taking
Which...
a slinky, a metal one, stretching it out, and then flicking the bottom? I can replicate it if
I did know
people are
that.
listening.
I did know that. I
There we are.
too have
Hopefully
seen
that
that
was heard.
Reddit post.
The what?
I too have seen that Reddit post.
It was a King of Random video, but I mean, sure.
Oh, I saw it on a Reddit post.
Of course you did.
What can I say? I'm always on Reddit.
What can I say except I'm on Reddit for the islands I pull from the sea?
If I'm not playing Fall Guys or Among Us, I'm on Reddit.
Of course. Or on Discord.
Or on Discord, or on Minecraft.
Yeah, too.
Which I actually haven't played in the last 2 days.
Or the great game we play sometimes together.
What, CS? And wait for 5 hours in the lobbies.
Yep, and then I had to go AFK. Oh, that was a terrible match. I'm so sorry.
Well, people actually just... I think they kicked
They
you.
did kick
Or
me.
no, they were about to kick you.
No, they kicked me on the second time. I went to
Ah.
AFK twice, so clearly they had enough.
I mean, can you blame them, though?
No, of course not. I'm really annoyed that I had to
You
go
did...
AFK. What do you say?
I said you did go AFK, so we can't really blame them.
No, not at all. Didn't want to go AFK, but I went anyway.
You kind of had to.
Yep.
You didn't have a choice.
So we've on 50 minutes. We've got 10 minutes left. Anything else that you'd like to ask about?
trying to think of Fall Guys stories to tell because
Well,
I've
we
said
can
some Among
talk
Us.
about more debate topics.
What debate topics do you want to talk about?
Ooh, so have you ever read the book The Giver? It might have been a set
No,
work. So
I haven't
basically,
seen. If it was a set book, it was after me
it's
or
a
after I became.
it's about a utopia, right? And it's about how people live there, and like they use release as a punishment, where basically they just inject people and they die. Um,
Oh, I thought maybe they put them in like purgatory or something.
and there's a huge debate just around the book, and it happened in our class about societal value over the individual. So the
Hmm.
argument was,
Carry on.
if, say, this is a post-apocalyptic world, clearly the world has failed with every man for himself kind of mentality, because that's currently what we have. That they've gone to a utopia where they're trying to survive as a society, but they don't care much about the end individual. Is that justified?
Well, I kind of have to go with society, or else I'd be very hypocritical. Because I have said many times that I would rather have a society as a whole benefit than an individual.
I guess so. But the thing is, if every individual doesn't matter, then is the society really worth maintaining? If you don't matter
No,
in a society, that means no one
if no
matters
one
in the
matters in
society.
the grand scheme of things as a whole, then no, the society doesn't deserve to stand around because then what's the point of it? They're all going to turn on each other in the end.
And then we got an existential debate after that, which was
Oh,
very
great. And you
interesting.
had a little existential essay there one day, or
No, no, that was a
speech.
speech. As I said, don't like essays. Much prefer speeches because I can say them. I like that existential crisis speech.
I'll do either as long as I can spread my knowledge in some way.
Yeah, I always when the teacher says your maximum is 5 minutes, I look down and then
Too
look at
short.
my friend who
Too
always
short.
always has far too much to say.
5 minutes is too short. My
Far
friends,
too short.
I've told my friends many times that I wish they abolish the word limit on essays. And they look at me like I'm insane because they can barely get enough words. And I can barely fit all the stuff into too little words.
Well, so I think typing I can type as long as I like. I hate writing just in general, and also as if it's a topic that I'm not any much interested in or something that I can't really elaborate on. That's not really an opinion question. I don't find it to be easy to essay on. If it's something like should we allow genetically modified organisms, which was one life science thing we had to do, then I had a lot of things to do, and I went to 3 pages, and I got marked down because we were only meant to do 1.5. This legitimately happened in an exam.
That
Um,
actually happened to me in history once.
uh, and
Same thing, it was we had to write 1.5 to 2 pages and I did three.
yep. I clearly didn't read the question, but he gave us three
Oh, I
pages
did read the
purely to
question.
spite
I
us.
just decided to ignore it.
Oh, I didn't ignore it. I didn't know. And I
I chose
happily
to ignore
happily
it.
wrote 3 pages on that topic. He even gave us resources, which made it really easy to go back and forth in every single paragraph until I got to the end of the 3 pages. Like, oh, what is that? It? Oh, I want more. Get the test back. Oh, I was only supposed to do 1.5. But like, if you don't have a topic like that, as in maybe you get a topic of what's kind of boring, family holidays.
Ugh.
I know, right? And
How can you debate about family
it's not a debate,
holidays?
it's an essay. And it just is
Oh.
so boring.
Oh, then it's one of those, oh, write an essay about different types of family activities that you can do, or different places that you can go.
Or like, write
Write a
about
story
your
about the
favorite friend
vacation
during
that you
lockdown.
went to last year. Yeah.
Ah, man. And like for grade 7 public speaking, grade 7, 8, and 9, we have got the stupidest topics, and the grade 10s, 11s got these really nice ones. Like
If there's one
our
thing
grade
that I
7
learned, at
impromptu
least
topic was
in my
my
school
family.
experience. Hmm?
Our grade 7 impromptu speaking, unprepared speaking topic was my family.
Ah, well.
Yeah. Well, we're coming up on an hour. We've gone from Fall Guys to YouTube to politics to debates to essays to what do we do just before this debate things again?
I can't even remember.
I don't remember.
Anyways, I wanted to quickly say, what I've noticed, or at least in my school experience, until you get to grade 10, you tend to have terrible topics to write about boring stuff. Once they start letting you choose your own topics and they give you a lot more mature ones, you really start to have fun if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. So our English teacher,
Especially when it comes to speeches, because our speeches, we always had open topics. They gave us ones that we could do, but they always said, do your own thing, you're more than welcome to. Oh, I loved
yeah,
that.
so our English teacher, really, really amazing teacher. Um, she's got like some family issues now and again, so she's absent like she has been for this week. But every speech that we do with her, this is the problem, is we get to choose our topic. We just have to come and okay it with her unless it's something rather not topicable. But the problem I have is with public speaking, which is run by a different English teacher, who's actually Afrikaans primarily and learned English in university, but managed to be the head of English at our
Oh,
school.
no, that's not a great place to start learning a language.
No, not really, but she speaks it perfectly fine, which is unknown to me how she does it. But I mean, sure. And she's the head of English at our
Some
school. I mean, sure.
good at languages.
Sorry?
I said some people like me are good at languages.
Yeah, I hate languages. I'm so sorry. Afrikaans has ruined it for me.
Shame.
Om te beklemtoon.
That's easy. I'm telling you, that's legit a 3 mark in your exams.
I will use it. It's to
If you
emphasize,
get
right?
3 mark question and you write just that alone, you get 1 mark already.
Yeah, we actually wrote an Afrikaans test today, and like before, we have different Afrikaans teachers to our registered teacher, and our registered teachers. So, hang on, let me backtrack. So our class is split into two. Splits
We're
into
gonna
two.
go way over an hour.
We might. So we're with the old man who's really sweet, and the other class is with the very very strict lady. But we have that lady for our registered teacher. So the guy Afrikaans teacher says to us, "Oh, you can use the dictionaries. It's fine. You can bring all your notes in. It's fine. Just be ready for the test on Monday." And then as soon as we get into class today, it's like, "Nope, you're not using dictionaries. Put them all away, and you only get to use your book." Like it's in the reading
Oof.
book, the reading book, and yeah, that's fine. What do you expect from an open book test? Even though there's people at home who are allowed to use anything they want, and the other class is using dictionaries because they have a just different register teacher.
You see, that's the problem with democracy.
And 2 weeks before, we had a physics test, and exactly the same thing happened. Where
As I said, that's the problem
we
with
had a different
democracy.
teacher, and she had to phone up our physics teacher, and our physics teacher decides on the day that we aren't allowed to use our notes. I was very happy that day.
And let's get back to this Afrikaans lady that can speak English now. I want to hear about her. What did she do?
What do you mean? What did she do? She gave
You
us,
said you had this one teacher for speeches that was
yeah, she gave us
Afrikaans that
terrible
learned.
topics.
Ah,
That was it. I was just saying how
no.
she's
That was
Afrikaans,
going
but
to be a
English.
fun story exposing her.
She also has a laptop from the 1980s, like many teachers at our school.
Ah, but yeah, no, we always had open topics, at least.
And also, she's extremely fast at typing. Like that teacher is just so
That's not a bad
strange.
thing.
And that's not a bad thing, but such a strange set of skill sets.
Bad topics, but really fast typing.
Yep. Teachers everywhere, take note.
Do you know what? I was actually, now that we're talking about arguments, I was in one the other day. This one chick, she believes, you know, the Myers-Briggs personality test.
Yeah.
Someone that I know, believes that the stuff is all correct, right?
Wow.
So I basically no, I was telling her, oh no, no, it's not correct. You can't categorize people into 16 different things. The human brain is too complex. We barely understand personalities as it is. And she's actually, the test
Actually.
is based on scientific. She says, actually, the test is based on scientific fact. And I know it's not based on scientific fact. So I said, actually, the person who came up with the test, I can't remember her name. It was something Myers. She comes up with a test.
Miss Myers.
She didn't until she'd had no prior teaching in psychology. She read one book based on principles from the 1940s that
Ah.
was unproven and actually falsified after it came out. Makes up an entire test that not everyone is going to be categorized into, that over 60% of people will have a different result the second time that they take a test. Of those 60, 40% will have a different result the third time they take the test compared to the last two.
Wow.
Ooh, I was going on this chick. I think I probably actually ended up sending her an essay.
Yeah.
She,
Some
at the
people
end,
send
she actually took
very strongly worded emails. You just send strong, heavily worded essays.
She at the end she says we you can't say that because you're wrong and you're not a and you don't have the right to give your wrong opinion. I'm like, excuse me, I don't have the right to say an opinion that is wrong. I told her, oh, I think I probably offended her when I said this, but I said, what is it? I said, controlling someone's thoughts and opinions is how we got the Nazis to kill so many people, and why the Koreans, Chinese, and South Americans are getting killed for speaking out against their governments. Oh, she was angry after that.
Oh man, that must have been an interesting chat.
It was on a group chat, and one of the people were actually putting it on their WhatsApp status and say that I was speaking facts.
Is Chubb
I
stalking
was
us?
actually worried. I actually thought that she was going to derail the thing completely and ask if I just called her a Nazi. Because then I was gonna really lose it. But anyways, that was fun.
Yeah. Well, we're an hour in. Shall we end it before you go absolutely crazy on debates and things?
I think on that topic we should end because
On that,
I could go on a very long time
I imagine
if I
so.
don't stop soon.
So, time for shameless plugs.
Why not?
Okay.
You you can go. I don't have anything to plug.
Okay. Subscribe to my channel. Support me on Patreon. Go to my website. Subscribe to my other two channels. Definitely not NPC and maybe not NPC. Go find the podcast on whatever
Those are the
platform
actual names.
you want to listen to it on. Yeah, that's it. Chris,
Buy Fall Guys, buy Among Us.
and also subscribe to Chris the TV Addict so you can win a sub battle against my third channel.
I guess you could do that too.
Okay, so it's your turn to do the outro.
And remember, stay hydrated and wear your seatbelt.
Hydration is a lie. Just drink water when you're thirsty.
Actually, no, that is true.
Okay, well, before we get into this, you can do the outro.
And water isn't wet.
Oh.
You disagree with me.
Yes,
You
it is.
disagree.
Water is very much
Oh,
wet.
no, it isn't.
Yes, it is. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Is water wet?
Good evening, Mitchell. How can I help?
Is water wet?
Yes. Water's wetness comes as a result of its strong tetrahedral hydrogen bonding. Once 6 or more molecules are present, water begins to form a three-dimensional structure with the familiar properties of water.
Water is indeed wet. Okay.
But something cannot be classified as wet unless it is surrounded by water molecules, and a water molecule itself is not wet.
Water is water molecules, and every water molecule
Water
is
molecules are
surrounded
not
by
wet.
6 or
Something is
more
only
water
defined as
molecules.
wet when it is surrounded by water.
Okay, cool. Let's just before we get keyword. Keyword is water is wet.
Water isn't wet. That's the key word.
'Kay.
Key phrase, water's not wet.
Okay. Shall you hit us with the outro?
Mist. Okay, no, I'm not gonna sing the Mr. Beast theme.
Mr. Beast 6000. Oh,
And now we've just got
Mr.
copyright strike.
Beast. Oh, sorry.
Just been copyright striked.
Probably. Quickly, do the outro before you get distracted again.
This has been me, Chris.
I'm NPC.
This was the crazy episode of the Early Morning Variety Hour.
Did you just cut out or?
I don't know, it's fine. We can just end it.
Cool. Bye.